Let's go!
Time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Hey now.
All right, welcome everybody. Patrick Johnson Show on this Thursday, the start of the high school football season getting underway tonight as we've got games being moved because of the possibility of rain. That includes Rose High, and they will be playing tonight against Northern Nash. It's a game that has become quite an entertaining series between these teams, not only spanning early matchups in the regular season, but also some postseason games in recent years. So we're going to have Walt Pollard on to talk about that. They'll go on tonight about 7:15, 7:20, I guess. And then we'll have coverage at 7:30 with the kickoff tonight, as well as our guy Tommy Bass. He'll be on the Edenton call tonight over on our sister station, 103.7 WTIB. If you can't get enough of Philip Pilkington, tune in at 6:30, and he'll be leading you into coverage of that game tonight on 103.7 WTIB. Also got Pirate Soccer tonight at 7:30, so that's coming up. Speaking of Pilk, he's here today, of course. Nice to have everybody along. Oh, I don't mean to laugh at you. I didn't mean to.
Oh, whoa. That's a witch's laugh right there.
Laugh.
Halloween.
That was. A little Kamala laugh for you. It is funny, though, that they'll move these games. And look, again, they'll say, well, we don't want to harm the gate, but you know what Aiden Grifton's having to do tonight? Because they moved their game with Princeton up. Princeton, by the way, with a turf field, so if it rains, it doesn't matter. They just play. But they're the roadie tonight, and so they're playing their game at 8:30. It's a West Coast start in Littlefield because they've got open house tonight at the high school. So they've got to wait.
So when was the JV game originally going to be played?
I think they're playing it afterwards at 2 a.m. I have no idea. I couldn't begin to tell you what's going on. So, anyway, Coach Emily Buccilla from ECU Soccer will be on with us coming up in a little bit. Like her, second year at the program. Didn't get a raw deal last year, but I thought, it's tough to kind of get that handed to you because that sports calendar is a little wild with the recruiting, and it's everybody says our sports year round. It truly is a year-round sport when it comes to roster construction in college soccer.
Yeah.
So for her to, kind of get the train as it was running, and they did finally get a decision the other week, or the other day, I should say, and they will pit their 0-1-1 mark up against the Campbell Camels, who, by the way, their AD is leaving. I understand there's some interesting stuff going on in Bowie's Creek at like the administrative level. And so you've got this lady who's been an AD there for 4 years who supposedly is, well, she's going back to Florida State, which is her alma mater, to take a job, not the AD's job, but a high administration in athletics job. But I guess, maybe either this president there at Campbell's doing some cleaning or people are trying to get away. I don't know. I've heard kind of a couple different things on it, but, that whole Bowie's Creek thing, little wonky. It's a different world down there.
Can't trust the dry county, PJ.
I was on the campus this summer. That's a Kamala laugh. I was on the campus this summer. And they've done a lot with it. Don't get me wrong, but it just, I don't know. I didn't think major college campus when I went to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. When I've been there, I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm not thinking, man, what a major university this is. All right, we have guests. We have a lot to get to here today. Let's go ahead and jump in with a very spirited top 5 at 5. Pilk, take it away.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
Number 1.
Alrighty, number 1. A little News coming out about the East Carolina softball team. The 2027 Shriners Children's Clearwater Invitational Field has been announced. This is an early season tournament that takes place down in Clearwater, Florida. It's always a bunch of big name teams. This year will include the likes of teams such as Florida State, Texas Tech, who most recently spent $1 million on a softball pitcher. She has since graduated and gone to the professional ranks, as well as teams such as South Carolina, Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, and more. East Carolina is a part of that 11-team field.
Right, and I guess they'll grow it. I think there's going to be more teams that'll go. I'm sure you can't have an event with an odd number of teams. I don't know, maybe you can. Wichita State, are they listed?
They're not.
Okay. Let me edit point. They may actually be going. I think.
Well, we were told they were invited. Yeah, but yeah.
Right. So I alluded to this a few weeks ago. I was told about this, but the players had not been told yet. And outside of coaching changes, I don't like doing something when the players don't know. The coaching change thing, I know people get a little pissy about that, but that's the biz, unfortunately. But in a situation like this, when it's a positive for our athletes, I'm fine, pulling the reins back and not telling everything I know. Because I wanted Shane to be able to deliver the message to these kids when they came back weekend before last weekend, whenever they were back and had their first meeting. And we're going to have him on to talk about it, have him on to talk about some of the stuff too. Now, this graphic was put out. And I've not seen it from the university. This was actually one of the players that put it out. So, the players know by now. So,
and the players have known since what, Sunday? From what we understand? Yeah.
Yeah, players have known since the weekend. So, but look, that's great for ECU. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. And this is the interesting thing about that sport. And I've been calling a lot of softball games. Obviously not a linear talent to call the tournament here in our own backyard, according to some, but still I've called a lot of softball games for us and also for a little league called the ACC over the last handful of years. So I feel like I can speak with some qualification on the sport. This is a huge deal. This is a major tournament. Major teams go to this every year. Duke, in one of their years where they were really, really, really good, went to this and I don't think won a game. And went and played in the Super Regional or the World Series. That's how loaded and stacked the field is typically. So, this is a big deal. And it was ESPN who pulled the decision to have ECU invited because this is a made-for-TV situation down in Clearwater. Now, they don't play on the greatest set of fields. You're not playing in a palace. You're not even playing in a field. They're not terribly nice. Our field is a lot nicer.
You have a temporary like construction orange fence as your outfield wall, and there's been plenty of girls catch and just flip over it.
Right. As a result, you don't have replay in a lot of this. Replays become in vogue in softball, but there are games that ECU plays in the non-conference, even in against big opponents, where they don't have replay for every single game. So it'll get there. I also saw where that team that played in Durham this year drew like 25,000 fans and had a huge economic impact of millions of dollars this year.
Oh, from the AUSL team?
I think that's a great thing. Yeah. I think that's a great thing.
It is. And, one of the things that I think that they did wisely, because they knew the rosters before they put the teams in their locations. Anna Gold was the starting shortstop for the Durham team, and she had been the starting shortstop at Duke for so long, and I definitely think that helps. I think that was a wise move as well.
Yeah, they try to do some of that, and it makes sense. So, and then we realize this is the opener tonight or the home opener for soccer. We'll talk to their coach coming up in a little bit for ECU. So go Pirates, beat the Humps. My humps, my humps, my humps. All right, what do we have, Pilkington, next?
Number two.
Number two, Patrick Johnson is going as Fergie for Halloween. No, I'm just kidding. All righty, on to college football. Just when you thought college football eligibility couldn't get any more ridiculous, try this one. Guys who have already signed NFL contracts may now be able to go back to college football. Louisiana judge has granted a temporary restraining order to 16 football players, challenging NCAA eligibility rules. The ruling temporarily allows them to enter the transfer portal and pursue another college season while the case continues. And they are not just talking about guys who went undrafted. Many of these guys were signed in NFL training camps.
So you got college, NFL, transfer portal, NIL, college, maybe the NFL or the spring league. So again, we go back to this, and this has been the problem over the last few years. What happens to the 18-year-old who's on a roster now when you get a 23, 24-year-old guy who has NFL experience? What happens to him?
I guess he just gets canned.
And we're in the 5-to-play-5 era, correct?
Yeah, so that young man's clock's ticking. Yeah.
Right. You don't get a red shirt. You have burnt a year. We're going to have a whole other set of lawsuits going back the other way. This group of freshmen are going to sue to get their freshman years back. You watch. Boy, I missed the boat on not being a lawyer. I totally missed the boat.
Yeah, we all should have went to law school, PJ.
At some point, college football has to decide whether it's college football anymore. At some point. At some point.
Tied to a university. We do know that. You do have to sit in you can go probably online. You do have to have some affiliation to the university who has the same logo as the one on the side of your helmet. We do know that, PJ. So it is university football, at least.
At some point, it's going to have to give. I mean, it just gets nuttier. Next.
Number 3.
Alrighty, number 3, we're going over to the Major League Baseball side of things now. Dodgers controlling owner Mark Walter is under serious financial and regulation pressure outside of baseball, and that pressure is now raising questions about the future of one of the MLB's richest franchises. Federal prosecutors and the SEC, not the Southeastern Conference, are investigating financial dealings involving Walter's business empire. The focus reportedly includes billions of dollars of loans and investments involving insurance companies connected to Walter and business affiliated with him. And internal revenue resulted in roughly $20 to $21 billion worth of investments/loans being reclassified as related party transactions, far more than was previously disclosed. Walter has not been charged with a crime, and his companies deny the wrongdoing.
This sounds like a shell game. This sounds like you're moving money because he has some kind of interest in every one of these entities. He either flat out owns them, Mark Walter, or one of his companies owns them. He has some ownership. So they obviously agreed to sell control of the Lakers. The Dodgers are not for sale. And I guess part of this is Walter explored getting one giant upfront payment for the Dodgers' $8.35 billion TV contract rather than collecting it over time through 2038. I guess the question here is, why does a billionaire behind the biggest spending franchise want a gigantic pile of cash now? Because haven't we heard the Dodgers' great brilliance is they're deferring all this money? Why do they need all this money now?
They're not spending anything. They're paying Shohei $2 million a year. That's affordable. For now they are, but
I'm just saying, why do you? This goes a little beyond baseball.
I think he's got less money than we do, PJ. I think he's in the negative.
Less than us.
I think he's in the red. This lets me know he's in the red.
This is a House of Cards feeling kind of thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
This feels a little shaky. Now, and there's crazy stuff that's being, tossed out there. But this is a fascinating story Because we're not talking baseball cramming down. We're talking the feds cramming down. We're talking regulators cramming down.
Yeah.
The SEC and what have you. Not the So Everybody Cheats conference, but the actual SEC that, overlooks all this money. That's who we're talking about cramming down on you here. So this is some pretty serious stuff. And a fascinating story given what baseball's headed towards. It's like the meteor's headed towards the earth with baseball.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do to stop it. And if you've got the Dodgers who've been doing all of this, I don't know. Do you want to do the Alonso thing next, since we just talked baseball and talk baseball again? I don't want to throw you off from your... Yeah, let's do that. Now, you have to totally explain this to me, because the only thing I care about with the Mets is that they traded PCA to the Cubs. That's the only thing I really...
Pete Alonso plays for the Orioles.
Oh, he's
not, yeah.
But he
now,
played
yeah.
for the Mets.
He did. He was with the Mets for a long time. They traded him to the Orioles.
So they're trading away everybody.
Yeah.
They're trading away everyone. All right.
Number 4.
What do we got here?
All righty. Number 4. Last night, PJ was kind of hinting at it earlier when he was talking about lack of review down in Clearwater. I think there's a little lack of review in Major League Baseball, PJ. Last night, Pete Alonso hit a home run. At least, according to the ball, it was fair. It was over the wall. And the third base umpire said foul ball. So the Orioles said...
the umpire called it foul.
Yeah, the Orioles said, we'll challenge it. And clearly the video shows it was a fair ball. When I woke up this morning and looked at the record book, it's still a foul ball. They didn't overturn it. I mean, the ball clearly, it's like Kurt Gibson waving it fair. Or no, Gibson was the one that did this. Who was it that waved it fair?
Fisk.
Carlton Fisk. I should know that. I got a Red Sox hat on.
For your socks.
Yeah.
For your socks.
Yeah. Carlton Fisk waving it fair. It was fair. But they called it a foul. I don't know why we have review, PJ.
The ABS element they've seemed to have gotten that right. Outside of, I think, one of the umpires saying you need to ask for it faster, they've actually done a pretty good job with the ABS. But how do you get now the incredible volume of games? There's going to probably be some kind of snafu. But I mean, if a reviewable play is more bang bang, I could see that being where you're going to have some. But I mean, a ball, if it's, and I've not seen the video of this, so I can't speak to this. But you were probably watching it because you're a sicko.
No, I didn't find out till this one.
Okay, you're still a sicko, and so, but you've seen the video, and you will say it's clearly fair. I mean, there's no dispute.
No.
Okay, and it's centralized replay for MLB. It's not replay in the park.
Correct. It's up in New York. Oh, that's the problem, PJ. They're running it in New York.
We just uncovered a conspiracy. All right, next.
Number 5.
All righty, number 5, the Las Vegas
Raiders. Against, by the way? Who is this against? Who are the Orioles playing? They're
playing the Yankees, weren't they? Oh, that's even more of a conspiracy. They're playing the Yankees.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Everything you need to know.
All righty. The Las Vegas Raiders opened their 65,000 seat capacity stadium, Allegiant Stadium, back in 2020. They are now saying it's out of date. Well, not the inside of the stadium that's out of date, the outside of the stadium. According to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, they are having a $158 million new front door put on the stadium. PJ, they haven't won a flipping playoff game since, I don't know, probably since Rich Gannon was the quarterback. Actually, I think they've won one since then. I think Carr won one. But haven't had any success really since Rich Gannon was quarterback. And they're worried about a $158 million front door? Are you kidding me?
They want $75 million from taxpayers, or from the taxpayer-funded stadium account. And then they would privately finance the other $83 million. This is a 6-year-old stadium, $2 billion. And I mean, and Vegas gets use out of this. Major concerts that are stadium level concerts, like AC/DC and Guns N' Roses has been, they will go through there. I think Kanye may have gone through there. And your mileage may vary on Kanye, as it probably should.
Oh, but your mileage should not vary on Conway. Now, Conway's not still alive and performing. Conway was a great. He was great.
He'd be at a casino performing, which is fine. But I mean, so they get mileage out of this. I think they even have held WrestleMania there.
Yeah, either that or SummerSlam. One of the wrestling events that they do in
WWE
NFL stadiums.
Held
yeah,
there. And so I mean, they're getting mileage out of this stadium in Vegas. And they're already, I don't understand the point of the door. By the way, they've made one, okay. I don't know. Shouldn't Mark Davis, who apparently doesn't pay for haircuts, shouldn't he just pay for his own damn door?
I know.
If we're being honest.
Yeah. This has just been such a horribly ran franchise since Jim Plunkett, since post Jim Plunkett being the quarterback.
It's an expensive door. I know that. By the way, did you see where, we got a second here. Did you see where they have taken, since Troy Aikman's kind of involved with the Dolphins, where he's getting the Brady treatment now. He has to do all of his meetings for pre-production with the coaches for Monday Night Football on Zoom like Brady does.
I mean, I guess it makes sense if you've got any sort of stake. I don't think these guys should really be allowed to be on TV anyways. If
doing both?
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Well, now, Aikman doesn't own. He's an employee or he's a consultant.
Yeah. Still consulting. You're in the building.
Right. I mean, you're at least interacting with on a pretty consistent basis. All right. Scheduled to have Walt Pollard next.
Walt's about to wave to the people. We won't be able to hear him yet, but wave to the people, Walt. There you are.
There he is. Coach Walt Pollard. There he is. We'll hear him tonight on radio, and Walt is standing by. We'll get him on the horn next. Get a preview of Northern Nash and Rose. Rose is considered one of the top teams in the East this year, and they're in a very tough conference. So we'll talk to Walt Pollard about tonight's game and the season ahead for the Rampants here on the Patrick Johnson Show right after this.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Grimes Built Construction is currently building homes in Pitt and Beaufort County, and they're always looking for land to start new neighborhoods. Grimes Built Construction is a custom home builder, but also builds beautiful spec homes in all price ranges. These aren't cookie-cutter homes. A Grimes-built home has great design, character, and the extra detail you desire.
This is Chad Grimes with Grimes Built Construction. If you're in the market for a new home, or if you have land for sale, give me a call, 252-717-1418.
This is a standard hold belt. You can get it at any fashion brand, department store, or Amazon. They can be nice, look good, even sometimes expensive. The downside, they're only limited to 5 holes. Not to mention these holes wear out in less than a year. So this is an Anson belt, micro-adjustable holeless belt. Instead of 5 holes 1 inch apart, we have 30 plus options spaced 1/4 inch apart, giving you the perfect fit every time. This track system uses a magnetic mechanism that won't break like a spring-loaded mechanism will over time. Slide your belt through, click, click, click. That's the sound of a perfect fit. Check us out at AnsonBelt.com.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Remember, get the podcast of the show on the IBX Media app or where you get your podcasts.
I listen on my Apple Watch. Smart speaker.
Listen while you work.
I listen everywhere.
The Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Well, high school football getting underway tonight in many stops, including in Greenville with Rose hosting Northern Nash. Big matchup, couple of preseason ranked teams in some of the high school polls. Matching up here tonight, Dylan Johnson and Walt Pollard will be on the call on 94.3 The Game later on this evening. How are you, Walt? Good to see you.
Doing great, Patrick. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm glad you'll be back for another year calling the games. Enjoyed our times together when we got to work with one another last year, but fired up that you'll be back. You also are doing a little coaching at JP2 with their JV. You're coaching 11-man for them because they move next season to the private or public school ranks. How'd you all do? You guys moved your game to last night. So how did you all do? Give us the score update here on the show.
Well, we played Eastern Wayne, which is about 4 divisions above us. We played well. We played well. We did lose last night, but we were pleased with how we played. This is our first endeavor there at going into 11-man football for these guys. So, it was a good game. But we did lose the game. But again, it's kind of the point of JV football.
Yeah, got to teach. A lot of teaching moments this year with
exactly
with that. All right, home game tonight against Northern Nash, 7:30 kickoff. 94.3 The Game, and the IBX Media app will have it. Had the game last year in Nash County, and it was a good game. Rose ended up losing 26-20 a year ago. Rose beat them the year before to end Northern Nash's season in the playoffs. I think what is particularly exciting for Will Bland is you've got Jalik Parson coming back, but also Kason Chase returning. And Parsons already got at least an ECU offer I know of on the table. And will probably have many more during his junior year, but he could fly. And it seemed to me, Walt, last year when Rose got the offense kind of figured out and going, and they've got a new play caller this year as well, offensive coordinator. When they kind of got their offense rolling, it was a really fun thing to watch last season.
Man, and if you think it was fun last season, just wait to this season. Tonight, it should be a show like none other. Speed just oozing out everywhere. New play caller, I believe he was at Laney. It's just wide open football. If you ever wanted to be a high school football fan, I'm telling you, now's the time because both these schools are dynamic. You're looking at 2 of the top schools in the state, much less the league. And this is going to kind of set the tone. But I'm telling you, Rose is even better than they were last year. And I know Northern Nash is certainly a formidable opponent. But I think you're going to find that Rose is really got everything going for him in the right places.
Steve Brooks is calling the plays. My buddy Steve Brooks, who had, as you said, was at Laney last year as a head coach. He's got a job at Rose now. He's going to be the offensive coordinator, and I think will do a fantastic job. Chase Davis was the backup last year, although he started about half the games. And he started 6 of the 8 he played in. after Jimmy Martin got hurt. 15 touchdowns over the span of those 8 games. And he's got a senior year coming up, and I know there are high hopes for him. And he seems to, from what I understand, have really picked up what they're doing offensively.
Well, he's got a host of receivers. I think you mentioned Jalik. He's got a host of receivers around him that are just dynamic. They've had a transfer in from Conley that was really good for them last year, and a host of other players. And he's got a fantastic arm. If you didn't see him throw last year, he's really accurate. He's not a guy who's necessarily going to run out of the pocket, but I don't know that Rose really needs that with the talent that they have at back and at slot receiver and at wide receiver. They're just really, like I say, the speed is there.
Walt Pollard, he'll be on the call tonight on 94.3 The Game and the IBX Media app of J.H. Rose hosting Northern Nash. Dylan Johnson from the Baseball Pirate radio broadcast and Coach Pollard will be the tandem this year. 9/11 will be Havelock coming to town. I think that'll be a good litmus test for this team. And then the 9th of October, and I may see you for that one, the 10th of October, Jacksonville comes a call. And in the conference, that'll be a Titanic heavyweight matchup.
Yeah, man. Anytime any of these conference schools, golly, it's a solid schedule. But you got to know that with the lineup that Rose has, and nothing's going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. But it would just it'd be hard to believe that Rose certainly isn't at the top of anyone's schedule. That Rose isn't the premier team in this league this year.
Hey, Walt, have a good call tonight. Know you're looking forward to it. Rampants will be putting a lot of points on the board this year, it would seem like. So should be a fun contest tonight, 7:30, and we'll look forward to listening to you guys on the radio.
Absolutely, Patrick. It was good talking to you, man.
All right, there he goes, the great Walt Pollard. What a guy. All right, when we come back, we'll preview ECU soccer tonight. They are going to be opening things at home themselves at 7 o'clock, actually, at Johnson Stadium as they take on the Campbell Camels. And we're going to speak with Emily Buccilla, the coach of ECU soccer, when we return on the PJ Show.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Visit Larry's Steakhouse for a tender, hand-cut certified Angus ribeye. Other entrees include perfectly seasoned pork chops, chicken, or seafood favorites like shrimp, tuna, and salmon. Complement your meal with Larry's fresh 20-plus item salad bar, or enjoy it as an all-you-can-eat entree. Daily rotating favorites include meatloaf, chicken pastry, hamburger steak, spaghetti, pork chops, and more, all complemented with your favorite country sides. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, or our Sunday brunch, remember to support and eat local. Larry's Steakhouse.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef, brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Your future is full of possibilities, and Pitt Community College can help you explore every option. You can earn a degree, learn a trade, transfer to a university, or launch a new career. We offer the support you need to succeed with flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and programs designed for the real world. Your path, your future, your college. Pitt Community College. Register now.
We're back to the show.
I missed you. We all missed you. Did you miss them?
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Got a lot going on as we're ramping up the sports season. Play has already begun for ECU soccer, and Emily Buccilla is the second-year head coach. She joins us. Big match coming up against Campbell tonight. So thank you for the time on a home opening game day. We'll talk about the matchup against the Camels in just a little bit. Year 2 as the head coach, how is it different?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I enjoyed chatting with you last year, so it's good to be back. But I think the main difference between year 1 and year 2 is kind of what the main objective is for our team. Last year was a lot more about gaining experience based on where we were at with the group. We had a lot of players graduate from the previous year that played pretty significant roles. So last year was a lot about players that were here previously, just gaining that experience. It's really valuable to get it in games versus practice. So we achieved that goal last year. And now we're trying to adjust the narrative a little bit. We do have some new players that are helping us out right now in big situations. So there's still that element of, gaining experience for those players, but we do have more returners that are experienced in their position or just in the minutes played and being in big moments, big games. So it's less about that. It's more about kind of identifying how do we want to play, who are we going to be as a team in terms of on the field identity, and then are we going to implement that and be able to improve from last year's record.
Coach, you come out of opening weekend 0-1-1, tough loss at Liberty to open things up, but showed a lot of fight Sunday against UNCG. So what have you learned about your team through these first 2 road games?
Yeah, I mean, being on the road is obviously difficult. So that presents some challenges. And I think it's a good way to start the season to be on the road because it's not comfortable. Liberty is also a very good, talented, athletic, experienced team who constantly is winning championships in their conference. So, if we want to be the best in ours, we can start with the best in someone else's. So, knew that was going to be a very challenging game, especially the way that they like to play. It was going to present some challenges for us. And, unfortunately, we weren't able to get a positive result, but we did have a response from that game. So it's a lot of what we talk about is we're trying to do certain things and they're not always going to go the way that we script it, whether it's execution based, the opponent does something different, and we need to be able to adapt and have a response in those moments. So the big picture from game 1 to game 2 for us was we did have a positive response. And then when you look at game 2, we had a positive response when we went down a goal and we fought back in the last few minutes of the game to get a tie. So we're making progress. We're not satisfied by any means, but that's kind of where we're at right now.
Emily Buccilla is the ECU soccer coach. They'll be at Johnson Stadium tonight against Campbell, first of a 3-game homestand. I want to speak about kind of the status of the program in the second year with you as the head coach. You've alluded to some of that, but particularly the importance of home crowds. But before that, what were the I guess areas you felt like you put your offense in better spots from against Liberty versus on the road at Greensboro?
Yeah, so we were a little bit more aggressive in our press. So when we didn't have the ball, we were looking to disrupt higher up the field against Greensboro. And that is what caused a lot of the turnover moments that we were able to create goals from or create chances from. Liberty is a lot more of a direct style of play. So we sat back a little bit deeper to try to just take the space away that they wanted. So just changing the way that we were pressing higher up the field and where we were putting bodies definitely helped us with that. And I think we'll look to continue that more aggressive style as long as it's sustainable, because the more you're pressing at a high rate, the more physically taxing and demanding it is. So we need to be able to manage our players' health and safety with the depth of our roster appropriately.
Yeah, early on, it's that balance. It seemed like the Greensboro game was pretty physical too. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, we were talking about it as a staff after the game. I haven't seen that many fouls. It was over 30 fouls. We're almost 35 fouls, I think, combined between the two teams, and only one yellow card was issued. So the ratio was crazy. But yeah, definitely when there's a foul almost every phase of play, it disrupts a rhythm. So it was hard to get into a rhythm from a possession standpoint when there's always a foul that stops the play. So that was definitely challenging.
Yeah, a lot of stops and starts. Your goaltender, Dietrich, can you talk a little bit about her? And, did have the 10 saves against Liberty and continued with a really fine performance against the Spartans as well.
Yeah, Liv is very dependable, reliable to keep the ball out of the back of the net. And, she's not going to have 100% save percentage, but she's in her 5th year of college. She's very experienced. She knows how to manage a game properly. And most importantly, she's a very aggressive and good shot stopper. So she's definitely someone that is going to continue to come up big for us. I know she will. But if we can manage a game where she doesn't have to make 10 saves, I think we'll be better off overall.
You have a couple different players who've already gotten on the score sheet. Talk about those two. Tell the folks about them, and maybe who else you feel like will be able to add to some offensive punch for you.
Yeah, so our first goal was scored by Anna Mioto. She's a transfer from Minnesota State, and she's been a really good addition. She's from Switzerland, and she's just been like a breath of fresh air to see how she loves playing the game, but she's very creative. And she's got the work ethic to go along with that. So she's been a huge addition to us. Our second goal was scored by Caitlin Starr, who is our returning leading goal scorer. So she's a player that we're going to look to continue to kind of lean into in terms of stat sheet, offensive production. She's someone who has the ability to make things happen on her own in the attacking third, which is great. But then both of those two goals were assisted by Lauren Taylor. And Lauren transferred here this fall. She came from Mississippi State, but she is from Greenville. And Lauren is someone who I have been trying to get here at ECU for years. And I'm so glad she's back. And it was good to see her get on the stat sheet and have 2 assists. And she was able to get an honorable mention weekly nod from the conference for that. So that was great. She's definitely someone we're looking to continue to help out in our attack, which is awesome. 2 new players helping immediately in the attack.
Emily Buccilla is the ECU soccer coach. Isabella Gutierrez, one of the captains. I had a chance to meet her last year, I believe, at one of the coaches shows. And what a delightful person to spend time with. Obviously, another veteran, and I'm sure you're looking for big things out of her in the midfield as the season here begins.
Yeah, Bella is like the heartbeat of our team, both on and off the field. And she was not available to play these past 2 games. She's picked up a little bit of an injury. It's not going to be anything serious. She should be back soon, but not having her in these first opening games for us this past weekend definitely affected us. And we're really looking to have her back, but she is a really positive leader by example. She connects so well with people, with her teammates, and it's really easy to want to work hard for someone who's willing to go out of their way for you. So I can't say enough good things about Bella.
Coach, Campbell tonight, so another one of those in-state sort of deals, and they'll be excited and fired up. I'm sure there's some players on their roster that have some connections to this part of the state, or certainly maybe played with some of the players that are on your roster. Of course, that changes a lot now because everybody moves around so much. But I bring all that up to say that there's a real home field advantage for you all. You all have drawn some really good crowds at times, and that is a big difference maker when you do have the support.
Absolutely. And I think that that's one of the things I love most about ECU is the support from the community and the support from athletics campus. Optimistic that the crowd will be pretty rowdy this week with classes being back in session and all the students here. And that's usually a pretty fun home opener, way to have it. And then our student section, the Scallywags, just makes it even better with the drums and the noisemakers and things like that. So they really do help us have a home field advantage.
How do you see the conference playing out this year? I mean, I know, again, it's really hard to tell how things are going to shake out because of the additions and subtractions from people's rosters beyond graduation. But, how do you kind of see the conference stacking up this year?
Yeah, I'd say it's a little early to really make that call just because people's non-conference schedules are so different. Some people are starting off with, big, hard games. Others are not, and they're easing into it. So it's hard to dictate fully how I feel the teams are going to fully lay out after just one or two games. But I think no matter what, Memphis is always going to find a way to compete to be at the top. They have a history of being a championship program. And so for us, that's always a team that we're chasing and we're comparing to. So when I'm doing game scheduling, I'm taking a liberty and thinking they're similar to Memphis. So if we can prepare ourselves early for a team like Liberty, we will be prepared to play against Memphis later in the season. So that's kind of like our goal when we're looking to prepare our team is realistically schedule accordingly out of conference. I don't know if the other schools in our conference have that same approach. So it's difficult to tell, but I will say the middle pack of the conference last year was very, very, very close. The margins were super thin. The point difference from finishing in second to finishing in seventh was 1 to 2 points. So I expect it to be another pretty competitive year. I think any team can probably finish in any order. With the exception of maybe a couple.
Campbell tonight, High Point on Sunday, which will be a 1:00 first kick from High Point or against High Point in Greenville, and then App State next Thursday to complete this 3-game homestand. And that is the first 3 of the year. The admission is free, and it's always good, as you say, when the students are back and when folks from the community, especially even late summer, trying to find something to do with the kids on a Thursday night, bringing their daughters or sons out to a soccer game at ECU seems like a popular thing to do as well. This is always kind of an interesting thing to ask, and I didn't know this till we talked, but there are 2 portal windows in your sport still. Other sports have kind of done away with it. That's very unique, and it's an interesting calendar that you have sort of. Everybody talks, coaching's 365. Your sport really seems like that is the case.
Yeah, it very much is. The recruiting never really stops. There are periods of time where the student athletes cannot visit campus, but the communication can still happen and the conversations and the evaluation. So in order to keep up at minimum with what everyone else is doing, you kind of have to keep the ball rolling from a recruiting standpoint, no matter what phase of your season or your out of season you are in, or your vacation periods. Everything is always revolving around like the future in terms of how can we better recruiting. And at least on the women's soccer side, recruiting out of high school happens kind of around your sophomore into junior year. That's like the primary timeline. So it's happening early enough in their career that it's not an immediate gratification, them, coming right in and helping your program. So it's a lot of projection, a lot of evaluation, and it's just something that we've gotten used to.
Thank you for being with us. I hope we'll get you on again a little later in the season as we get into conference play and evaluate things. But nice to speak to you, and good luck against Campbell in the opener at home.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Emily Buccilla, thanks to her for being on with us. Pilk, you ever heard of underwater basket weaving? It's not quite that, but when we come back, I'll tell you about one of the top quarterbacks in America and his course load this semester.
It's going to be interesting.
Get ready. Oh, I'm actually jelly of it. Very jealous of it. All right, stay tuned. Wrapping up the show on the other side.
The power of savings is yours at Greenville Toyota with powerful deals on our huge selection of new Toyotas, like a Camry, $229 a month, or the all-new RAV4, $279. Don't miss the power of savings at Greenville Toyota.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's cut in color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, Newbern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Visit Larry's Steakhouse for a tender, hand-cut certified Angus ribeye. Other entrees include perfectly seasoned pork chops, chicken, or seafood favorites like shrimp, tuna, and salmon. Complement your meal with Larry's fresh 20-plus item salad bar, or enjoy it as an all-you-can-eat entree. Daily rotating favorites include meatloaf, chicken pastry, hamburger steak, spaghetti, pork chops, and more, all complemented with your favorite country sides. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, or our Sunday brunch, remember to support and eat local. Larry's Steakhouse.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
The hunting and fishing event of the summer comes to the Greenville Convention Center, July 11th and 12th, bringing together the best hunting and fishing vendors, outfitters, and fishing experts, all under one roof. Special free events, including a mountain trout pond, indoor archery range, offshore fishing experience, interactive duck blind, and free seminars. Don't miss it. The Mid-Atlantic Hunting and Fishing Expo is July 11th and 12th.
With new Toyota trucks from $259 a month, you've got the power of savings at Greenville Toyota. Drive Tacomas $259 a month or Tundras only $399 a month at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
And now, the stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
All right, Pilkin, tomorrow I'll be away, back Monday for the PJ show. Lenora Sellers, he's got it figured out. 0 classes this semester for the South Carolina quarterback. This is according to an IG account, college football, meaning he has a fall schedule consisting of football, and golf. His only requirement is an internship at a golf facility where he'll be cutting grass and picking up balls. And, of course, this shows him as he's lining up to hit a tee shot. I don't think he's spending a lot of hours at the internship. That's just my guess. He's probably working on this way. His handicap should come down this fall. He should be able to get his handicap down this fall.
You know, the interesting thing is, PJ, there are 12 credit hour internships. You know, our guy Thomas, who's here now, he's in the other room working on some social media stuff, but he is doing a 12 credit hour internship. He is supposed to be here 32 hours a week. He doesn't have any other classes, but he's actually here 32 hours a week. I'm going to go on a limb and say he will not be at the golf course. I mean, if he's getting a turf maintenance degree, by all means, you know, that's good.
You don't have classes during the day. You go play golf.
I thought he's supposed to be cutting grass and picking balls.
No, he'll be playing golf. It's kind of like the local summer at the beach. The weather will be warm. He'll be able to play golf into late October.
Yeah.
It'll be great. A buddy of mine just sent me this. It is from Coach Silky on X. Pat McAfee is like the flock cameras of sports broadcasting. He's everywhere, and no one wants him there. Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. A little overexposure. Do we have time for the Schefter cut?
If we go like now, yeah.
Okay, set it up real quick and play. This is in regard to these 16 players being allowed to play and the word that players that are getting cut from NFL training camps are going to enter the portal.
Yeah, well, you set it up there, so here you go, PJ.
Morning, and apparently there's a judge in Colorado that's going to issue a further ruling today, and I think there's a lot that's up in the air. What I do know from the NFL standpoint is that on Sunday, August 30th, that is the final NFL cutdown day, there are 32 NFL teams that essentially will be releasing 37 players each. That's 1,184 players. I don't know how many of those 1,184 players have used up all 5 years of their college eligibility, but I would venture to say probably not a lot. So you're talking about the prospect of multiple players who don't make it on the NFL rosters, then having the option, potentially, of going back to play in college football. And then there'll be cases where even a player who has the chance to join a NFL practice squad or even an active roster at the veteran minimum might opt to go back to college football. So college football programs now, as Pete Thamel alluded to, are actually looking at NFL teams and studying preseason tape to figure out how they might round out their roster. And if they're bringing in NFL players on September 1st, then that means they're cutting some players from their college programs. And we are living in an unprecedented Wild West world where it's gotten crazier and crazier. And this may be the single craziest moment that we've seen yet.
Well, where Schefter's wrong, no college kid's going to get cut. They may go ahead and get in the portal, but they're not going to cut them. They're just not going to play them, especially the freshmen. Thanks today to Walt Pollard. Rose football tonight, 7:30 on 94.3 The Game. Also to Emily Buccilla. Good luck against Campbell tonight for Pirates soccer at 7 o'clock at Johnson Stadium. Thanks to Pilk. He'll be hosting the show tomorrow. Thanks to Ryan, Thomas, Mary. See you in the morning on Talk of the Town. And back Monday for the PJ Show. Have a great weekend and enjoy all the high school football.